Alright, let's finish up this video on this gasket. The gasket dried perfectly. Perfectly. Nothing leaking out. Put my hand across the bottom. Nothing on my finger. We are here with the wheel horse again. And this is about the axle seal. The axle seal. Now with one of these, this is the only way you're going to know exactly what you want. Turn her on. And this is a 1-inch seal. It says 0.98, right? 0.99, 1 inch seal. And then you go on, these top ones are the outside. So you try to get the best you can. It says 140, 145, 149. So this is probably inch by inch and a half. This is the cheap one. They got more expensive ones. Or they could do it by millimeters, okay? So the only people I could get to look up this by seal size is Napa. Napa know-how, Napa know-how. I've been singing that all day today. Part number 275SS3657. 275SS3657 is this. You see the spring? That's a spring on the inside. Now other people are saying that this goes on the flat part goes on the inside. The flat part goes on the inside. The flat part does not go on the inside. The spring goes on the inside, so this can protect everything else, okay? So this right here been leaking for quite some time now. You see all that? That's the old seal I took off. All right, I'm hoping I got my pipe out here. I brought a pipe out here before. So what I'm going to do is I brought some glove out here because I'm going to lube the inside of this ring with a dab of hydraulic fluid or transmission fluid. But the outside of this ring, actually it's a rubber ring. I shouldn't need it, but I was going to use ultra black gasket maker on the outside, just a little bit on the outside before I put it all the way in. And then I'm going to smooth it around all the way in so the outside is completely sealed and then the spring is holding the inside of it. Okay, so let me go get my PVC pipe. Okay, that's my PVC pipe to push in the outside of the seal. This outside of the seal, you're going to push this inward. This is going to be inward. Another reason why this is the outside is it protects the spring. It doesn't let the spring rust, but also it gives you a lip if you need to pull the seal out. So I'm going to put just a little bit of the old hydraulic fluid. A little bit. A dab will do you. On the inside of the seal. See this right here? On the inside. I'm trying to see if you see it. On the inside. This is going on the inside of the seal. I'll put some around here also to make it easier to get the seal on. You don't want the seal to bog down, okay? Now I got that on the inside. Let me wipe my hands off. See, it sticks really good right there. Wipe my hands off really good or use a different finger because this is gasket maker. And I'm going to put some on the outside, that green part, that green lip of the seal. I'm going to put the gasket maker. And then I'm not going to touch this until tomorrow. So this is another finger, not trying to give you the middle finger. Little bit of gasket maker that I'm going to put on the outside of this. Nowhere towards the inside. Just on the outside. Because I don't, this rubber got to be able to roll. Alright, and a little bit, I do see a little bit I spilled on the inside. I'm going to get that out the gasket maker. Oh, glad I put a glove only on one hand, right? I had fluid, hydraulic fluid on there, so it was able to come out really nice, okay? So this is the gasket that I'm putting on. Alright, now it's going over this with the spring facing inward. The spring facing inward. You gotta stretch the spring out a little bit because the spring is tight. The spring is less than what this axle is. So you gotta try to get this and finagle this on. trying to do it holding the camera. Okay, so that's on. That spring is on there really good. You don't want to rip it, so take your time. You don't want to rip it. And then it's in right there, okay? All right. Now, gonna have to get the picture right here. Gonna wipe some of this gasket maker off my gloves right now. Then you're gonna get your PVC pipe and your looks like it's all the way in. And I'll tell you this, it's not all the way right, but it's all the way in. All right, the rubber part is sticking really good. So now for sure, I'm gonna put some transmission, some gasket. Get you on this side better. This is a gasket sealer. I'm putting it on the outside. I really am. Try not to get on the inner rubber, but on the outer gasket. There it is right there. Hopefully that rubber is sealed good. I had to get a flashlight to see it. Alright, so there's no transmission fluid in it yet. So I'm just got it jacked up and I'm turning the other tire to make sure it's loose so the gasket seal is not sticking to the rubber of the bearing. I'm hoping that I didn't rip the bearing trying to put it in, or the seal. I'm not gonna fill it up yet. I'm gonna let that dry about 2 hours, 3 hours, then I'll fill it up. Okay, I got a Q-tip and I'm cleaning off the gasket sealer that's on the rubber. I'm only leaving the gasket sealer on the outside of the outside of the axle to seal the outside. The rubber is rubber, and I kind of, in my mind, don't really want it to dry out. So that's why I'm trying to get off the rubber part of the axle seal. So the rubber with the spring could actually work like the rubber with the spring. Alright, now we're cooking with gasoline. Look how nice that looks. That actually does look pretty nice. Looks like the rubber seal's on it. So I'm gonna let everything right there dry, and then in 24 hours we'll go ahead and put the hydraulic fluid in there. The last thing I kind of want to do is, I don't know if I should put it on this side, because now all of the sudden that seal's leaking. All of the sudden. It's really not leaking. There's nothing dripping on the floor, but it hasn't been leaking. You could tell the difference with this one leaking, because look at that. That's what it did to the rim. So this one has nothing on the rim. It's not leaking out. But I did that one, so I'm thinking I might as well do both before I fill it up. That's 5 quarts of hydraulic fluid we need in there. Alright, let's finish up this video on this gasket. The gasket dried perfectly. Nothing leaking out. Put my hand across the bottom. Nothing on my finger. But you see, that one's going to be going anytime soon. Okay? Here's the thing. Filling it up in here. Filling it up right here. everything I cross-referenced, standard type A, it says, this is Dextron 3, O'Reilly's. I shop at O'Reilly's. It's a half a block, well, maybe 3 blocks down from me. I bought 5 quarts because I was always told that this thing uses 5 quarts of transmission fluid. Everything I cross-reference, I use 3.5 quarts of transmission fluid. It's jacked up because I put it on, I ran it forward and backward and forward and backward and forward and backward, and I kept checking. So this is under no load, forward and backward, 3.5 quarts. But it just dripped out of here the whole time. I had it leaning down into the bucket. So this was, I didn't empty it from the bottom, I just emptied it from the side, so everything up to there. I filled it up with 3.5 quarts. I'm not returning these because I have to put it under load, and more than likely I'm gonna have to do that one again anyways. So the gasket I put on it was a Napa gasket. This is a Napa 27SS3657. This is a 1-inch axle. A 1-inch axle by 1.5 inner diameter by, no, I'm sorry, 1-inch inner diameter by 1.5 outer diameter by 1/4 inch from Napa. All right, talk to you later. Subscribe, like, and share. Let's get to riding.